Okay, here we are. So, okay. Hello. We are going to start our unfortunately short stream today. It's a little bit late already right now, but I wanted to continue a couple of things that yesterday were left undone, and here we have our plan for the export and import features. So yesterday we managed to do the export, but I mean the basic export is there. So like we have the basic export, but we still don't have like the removal of the background option. And yesterday we found out that there was an issue when we were re-importing back our SVG, since one of the elements with the rectangle is being imported anyway. Like it's not an actual background, but it's being imported as an object. So that part is not correct, and we need to fix that. Then I will probably work on the open part, since we have like the import, which is going to preserve the elements that are in the current canvas, while on the other side we will have also like the open, which basically will remove everything that is inside of the canvas, and it will create a new one. So yeah, that's something that I want to add. So let's start. Let's see. So we had like export and import, right? Import had like these elements here, and we could see them here. And this one is, as you can see, like the huge rectangle, which is like the background. So this is one way of doing it. But let's see if we can have the SVG a new function to open the SVG. So open SVG, basically it's going to be the same one as the import, with the exception that we are going to remove everything and create the canvas starting from the elements inside of the SVG file. So one thing for sure is we can reuse this entire block of code, and probably it would be better to have just a function that does that for us. So I think that this one so far, yeah, this could be like part of the utilities. So I'll say export function. This is going to be like extract text from file. The input is the file itself. This one, it's an asynchronous function. Okay. So this could eventually return either the text or null. So it's a promise that returns either like a string or null. And this is in here, and it's going to be like extract text from file. Text is equal to await extract text from file. And if you don't have it, right, if no text, you're going to have something like this. No text in the file. And this is good enough, I guess. And we are going to have the same inside of the open SVG. And yeah, we can start like removing everything else and replacing it. So the thing is, when I'm importing a new SVG, right, I'm going to have to use this function. And then I will have the objects, right? Let me see. Because also like the canvas here is pretty relevant, since you need to put them back into the canvas. Yeah. So yeah, the canvas is important. So I feel like I haven't like really removed that much code from the boilerplate. Like the extract text from file, actually it's not a big portion of it. Oh, but anyway, so right now I'm going to extract all the objects, and I need to get some other attributes, and I need to get the attributes that are basically from the canvas itself. So based on what we did yesterday, we saw that there was this kind of bug in here from the library itself, that is not parsing correctly the rectangle of the background when it's set to percentages, and it's actually evaluating it as 100 instead of 100%. So when doing this, I figured that in order to create the correct new canvas, I need to use probably the view box of the elements in order to first of all check the size of the canvas itself, because otherwise it's gonna be tough. So wait, this get canvas, there is a set canvas, so probably we should create a new one. So let's go back to the SVG, and inside of the open here I'm going to like new canvas. Do we have it? Yeah, this thing here, and now we are going to set it. So this is going to be used. Oh, canvas element. Wait. Where this was from? This actually makes sense. I need this part as well. Otherwise, it's not going to exist. And we need to create a new canvas, and the size of the canvas will be the. Yeah, I can't do this here. I probably need to do this later after I'm starting to parse the objects. So I will have all these objects, right? And then I will have the filtered ones, similar as before. Yeah. And then I need to set the height, canvas height, canvas width. And actually just take the first element of the filtered ones, right? Whatever will be fine. Need to add those checks. So there are no elements to add, and this can return. So in that case, there will be no modification done. These variables are unused, yeah, of course. I'll take the first object, and the first object will actually contain all the information that I need. Because inside of the first object, I should have viewport. I mean, again, I know it exists, but it's not in the typing. I'm not sure if that's the reason for that is that it's still missing from the documentation, so they haven't updated in the version 6, or if there is another reason for that. With okay, so with this one we can actually set wait canvas height. I must have missed something. Box height. Okay, with okay, this should be fine now. And this will be actually just let me canvas height with okay, and now we are setting also the canvas. So after we set the size, right, do we have something like a background, right? Yeah, we do. The problem with the background is if the imported one is not actually the background but it's something else, it's hard to detect what is the actual background, right? So my understanding is the first element in the exported one the background? No, I can't say that, right? Because if it's not, exported originally with FabricJS, when you import it back, you don't have the same set of conventions. It could be literally whatever. So you don't know that. You have no idea about that. Oh, how can we do that? I mean, we should take some information from the SVG itself, and based on that, decide like some other info for the background. But for now, I would say, okay, this is the new canvas, and then we are going to add the elements to the canvas and update everything else. Something like this, right? For each object, probably I want to add, since we are opening it again, and we don't have information about it, we should probably add some const object of filtered objects. We should probably add set data an ID, so create the object ID, and also setting the name. The name, I mean, imported element. Okay. It's not the best way, but we'll make it work like this. So right now I created this function. We need to connect it to something. So in here, right, file, we don't have the open function. We probably want to have it like there should be like new file or open file, right? So in new tab, we should have a set of we should actually have a set of these triggers and content, right? That would be the best. So because we have it inside of here, right? We have we have label, on click, disabled, children, shortcuts, and stuff like that. So I want to probably keep the same structure for that, and reuse it inside of the SVG menu. So in this way, we can keep it kind of consistent. Because the reason why I can't keep it completely consistent is because like I have the context menu, which if we check it on the scene is made of these things here, like the context menu trigger, okay? While in the SVG menu, we have like the menu bar trigger, which is the same idea, but a different component. So I cannot like fully reuse it as I would love to. So yeah. Let's start with, I don't know, options. So how I want to play this one. The first thing will be the main external trigger, which is in our case actives is not defined. Wait, sure, I don't want to save it now. I can quickly remove it just to see. Here, the first thing that we need to focus on is probably file and edit. These are like the two main triggers that we want to map, and then we have all the options, right? Options, and the options can have children, like in this case, right? And each one of them, when you click it, can have like some functions and some shortcuts. So it's slightly different from the previous one. So in this case, we are going to have the first one, which is going to be like the trigger name, which is like always the label, and then you have children of children. Yeah, I think we can kind of keep the same structure for everything. So let's suppose that I'm going to call this one file, right? And oh yeah, it also had something like has divider. No, has separator? Yeah, has separator, right? So this is like the context option in here. And I think I want to make it reusable and put it somewhere else, like utils, but for the UI utils, kind of. So if I put it in here, has separator, right? I'm going to take this one and put it into the UI utils. Okay, now is this automatically going to recognize that I move stuff over somewhere else, or are we going to have an issue with that? I mean, it's not complaining, but I'm almost concerned that it's not complaining about anything. No errors in here? You sure? No, actually cannot copy this, which is fine. It's correct. Okay, fine. I mean, you happy, I'm happy. So in the SVG menu here, I can define this for now as a list of this context option, right? And has separator will be like, yeah, it's optional anyway, right? Okay. On click, nothing happens. And the reason why nothing happens is because this is supposed to be the main trigger, and we are going to have only for now 2 main triggers, which are like the file and the edit, and then we have children and stuff. So let's start with that. We should have one that is like create a new file, which is currently create new. Okay, this should be an object. Nice. And this should be, I don't know, the CMD command, like they have it all over in here, so let me copy it from somewhere else, like this one. Okay, we are going to add this shortcut later on probably. So this one is create new, and this should be the open, which is the one that we are doing right now. And the open will actually call the SVG store function for opening an SVG file. Now, is this going to work immediately? Probably not. And the reason is we don't have it connected to the input file that we created yesterday. So I'm going to have to connect it. But yeah, this is basically it. And then I can also connect it with like open with this shortcut. This would be nice. And then it should have a separator, right? Wait, aren't the children like also context options? Oh wait, this is going to be like an array of those things, right? Yeah, so why are you not complaining about it? Options declared but values never read. Yeah, but this actually, okay, you're not even checking this thing. Why? I mean, clearly this should be like this right now, right? Okay, it's complaining about something. On click file promise void is not something. Okay. Now I see why. Yeah, this is fine. This is fine because this is going to be in here on change files. Okay, fine. Let me just skip this for a moment, and then we are immediately back to it. So let's keep going with our options. This shortcut should not be in here. Perfect. And this one should have separator true. Okay, fine. Now it works. And this will be like new file, then open. Share is going to be eventually there, but for now not. I'm just going to remove it and export and import. So let me add the export disabled. Fine, no separator. And let's have also import. Import doesn't have a shortcut. Nice. Now we need to modify this in order to make it work. So inside of the menu here, we are going to have a template that is going to iterate over the options. The key will be probably the option label, which so far is unique. And this one, option label, but it has to be inside of the template. So let me see here what's going on. So perfect. This should be the perfect example that ends here, because on the other side here it's immediately starting with the edit, right? And we don't need it now. Menu bar menu, let's suppose this is, I mean, probably this one should be here. Yeah, and now it's not complaining anymore. Okay, let's see. We are going to change these items, and you have, first of all, you have the trigger. And when the trigger is open, like it's clicked, it's going to open the menu bar. But then you have the items, right? So we are going to iterate over the items. item of option, I mean, yeah, item of option children. Here the key should be the item label, and then if it has the shortcut, we are going to add it. This will be option, no, item label. Okay, and if there is an item shortcut, then it's going to be displayed here. Now let me see. So yeah, we are creating a bunch of these, and then we have okay, perfect. We have also the separator, but the separator is there for each option only if it's enabled, meaning that we cannot do it like this. We need to have another template in here. Template, okay. And the template is going to end up in here, right? And is only here if the item has a separator. Okay, and we need to move this part into the template. Okay, cool. Now, what I'm not taking into account right now is the sub trigger, meaning that if something has some of this item has even like children, we need to consider the next level of it, meaning that eventually you can have the menu bar sub, right? So it's either you have a menu bar item or a menu bar sub. Yeah, and the only thing that changes it is whether you have children or not. So let me just copy this thing, put it in here, and if you don't have children, I mean, it's easier if you do it the other way around and you check whether you have them. So this is if you have children, this is if you don't. And if you have them, in here nothing changes because you're still going to need the label. But in here, we need to iterate over the children and use the same logic that we have used so far. So yeah, we need the v4 in here on the child of item. Is it item children? I'm a bit lost now. I think so, yeah. And the key will still be the child label. And we are going to use also here the child label. So far there are no functions that are being called. So I hope that at least the structure is correct. Kind of. We have two of those, which doesn't make sense. So let's figure out why this is happening. Oh yeah, of course, I haven't cleaned up the rest of the old code. This is not required anymore. So these are correct, but these have like these arrows as if they have children. And probably it's because item children length. Yeah, perfect. So this appears to be working as intended. Now it should be pretty easy to add something else, like also edit. So in here we have the array, right? We should add it in here and have a let me copy label like this, edit, and currently with no children, just to check that it works. Yeah, and it's here, and when you click in, nothing happens because basically it doesn't have children. And in order to make it do something, let's suppose we want to have the copy function. I'm going to do copy, right? Copy, on click, I will need to trigger some function, disabled. Yeah, I will need to basically get the same information that I have in the context menu for the copy, like this, right? Actives, right? So a bunch of these options will be available if yeah, with the same conditions that happen in the context menu. So basically I can just take those and use them again. because in here we have like the actives, right, which is the values in the canvas. Yeah, we also has at least one group, which is another value that we check for. I think that actives is enough right now. Let's see, because this will be like I think that we can do like set up options. This could be an overkill, but let me try that. Canvas is this SVG store get canvas, right? This is not here. This is also not here. Perfect. So now I'm going to move the options in here, and this will become a reference to an array as context option. Okay, and in the setup, what we are going to do is we are actually going to modify the value. Because value is equal to this thing. I hope this doesn't break anything. Parentheses here are kind of broken, I guess. So, oh, the reason is this has to be inside, clearly. End up in here. Okay, nice, it kind of fixed itself, so it's good. And now we will need to call the setup options, basically whenever something happens, both in the canvas, like same as here, use context menu, we have a watch that checks whether, oh, it's easier, whether the context menu is open or not. So we already have something like that. Instead of setup options, maybe update the options. So let me see. Oh, we don't need the watch probably. We have just the onUpdate open here. And if you have the value, you can just update menu options. Yeah, I think we can do this. We can update the menu options. And this will make it so that when we have some conditions that require to have the actives, for example, we can simply have it. Oh wait, before we do that, we need to have also a call at least once on mounted update menu options. Okay, and this way it's going to spawn what? On mounted you are going to put the options, right? So there is no canvas when updating the context options. It's good that the error is there at least. So console. So this is trying to get the canvas from the store. It's not existing, so it says okay, done, gone. Not cool, actually not very cool. What we can do is, instead of having the unmounted, we can have the watch for the initial one. And whenever you change the canvas, actually you change the options. So yeah, I guess this is also fine. We can do this, and we can have a value for the canvas. Based on that, updating the options. But since we are not using the canvas, this is fine as well. And we don't have the unmounted anymore, so yeah, should be fine. Okay. Reasonable. When I click edit, it actually works in the other way, so this is not reasonable. We don't want that. Why? The key should be different, so the trigger should also be different, unless there's some special magic that I'm missing from the navigation menu. Here we go. No, it's not this one. It's the menu bar. I always get it wrong. So menu bar trigger, right? So you have the trigger and then the content, right? So this there should never be a case where these two things are like confused, right? This should just generate the code for the options, and then you have the key for each one of the options. And these options here, the edit should be in here, right? So again, there should be no confusion about that. Yeah, I mean, this one should not have, yeah, so now, now something weird is going on, definitely. Why this could be okay? First of all, like there are two, wait, it's really like behaving in a weird way now. Even if I'm hovering on top of the open, doesn't really work. So let me first remove the edit because this appears not to be working. Okay, so this one seems to be working fine, right? I can hover on them, I can click them and stuff. So this is fine. But as soon as I try to add the edit, that doesn't work anymore. So one reason for that could be no, actually it should not be the menu bar, right? The menu bar component itself should not be the issue. Let's see if there is API reference. Is it going to be on? Yeah, Reca UI. Okay. Contain trigger with content combination. Okay, the button that toggles the content. Menu bar content will position itself against the trigger. So wait, when you have this, right? How do you know value? Is it using, wait, is it actually using some value in here in order to define which one should be? Yeah, look like that. But it's not in here. Why? Menu trigger bar. Menu bar trigger, this thing here, right? Wait, that's not the right one. I think it should be menu bar, menu, right? Menu bar, menu, this thing here. So we bind the props, but actually it's not defining automatically the value for us. So could it be that this should also contain some vmodel stuff like current menu, and probably should have a value for that. Current menu. I don't know, should be a reference to null as a reference to what, a string or eventually null. I hope. But then we have wait, no, this one should be in the menu bar, right? I need to take this one as a reference. So this is menu bar root, right? Okay, and then you have the menu and the trigger. So in the menu, what do we have? In the menu we have the value itself, but then there is this root here, which is not required for some reason. Or am I just skipping it? No, there is no root. Yeah, they just have, oh, they have the menu bar, which is in this case the root. Okay, so if my understanding is correctly, this is the equivalent of menu bar on the other side, and it should have the vmodel in order to know which one. Oh, okay, it's either string or undefined. At least it has something like that. So I may not know the type at the beginning, but at least the concept is there. So this is going to be the current menu, right? Better to have this one up front. Okay. And this one should have values. Oh, wait, I see. This one should be outside probably. My guess is right. I don't even need to change anything else. And probably also, yeah, I think that, like, okay, this one now, of course, like, it works. Let's check the edit, right? Okay. Let's see now. Yeah, now it works. Now it works correctly. So yeah, the issue was just I was including one thing that should not have been there into the template. Like, sorry, like the menu bar was here instead of inside of the template in the before, meaning that the second time that you were generating something, it would have been inside of the same option, inside of the same menu bar option. So, okay, this is fine. We have copy, but copy should be actually already like connected. So if I do this, right, and then paste, okay, there is no object in the clipboard. Let's see if, yeah, otherwise it should have worked. So, okay, let's see what's going on with that. Disabled if the active length is equal to 0. Oh, wait, I didn't put the disable actually. And also, I didn't put the clicks. So, I mean, of course, it doesn't work. Cool. Let's do this. So, first of all, click, and the click is going to trigger the item on click. And this has to happen here. This has to happen here with the child on click. And I mean, the trigger doesn't really make sense anyway. But yeah, I think it's fine. It's only those two, right? So this one should now copy. Yeah, so the paste then later on works. This is like cloned element now. Perfect. So this is fine. This is fine. We now need to trigger other functionalities, like import is not connected to anything right now. Import, yeah, of course. SVG, wait. There is another function in here. Yeah, on-click import, this one. So this is going to open the SVG ref. I see. So we can probably reuse, should we reuse the same input type? We can reuse it, the upload SVG ref, and yeah, I think we can just reuse it and then create a type, like a simple like Boolean value or type value that will determine how to use it later on. Because later on we are going to call the onChange files when this one is being used to upload something. So if that's the case, yeah, let's have something like current menu. I don't think I need it, right? That was, I mean, if I need to control it maybe later on, like programmatically, yeah, that would be useful, but otherwise it's not. Const current upload mode, I mean, I don't know, like undefined as a reference to either open or import or undefined. This sounds reasonable. Current upload mode. Okay, so what will happen is on click on import. What was the name of that function? On click import, right? So on click import, this is what is going to happen, and on click import is actually the function that we are going to call both for the import and the open. But we need to pass also a mode in here. Yeah, that would be like the most reasonable thing, I guess. And the mode is either open or import. Current upload mode value is equal to mode, and then you click it, right? And then my my LSP server is gone. Like, okay, yeah, I didn't like colors. I prefer to see everything in white. Thank you. it's literally gone. Like I need to change like the screen in order to refresh it. I don't know why that's the case. So anyway, import is going to call the onClick import function. Click import, and the mode is going to be import, right? Okay, perfect. Now we also need the open one, and this is going to be like this, open. Cool. And after that, when the file is uploaded, it's going to call the onChange files, and based on the type, if the current mode is first of all, if it's not there, we have an issue. Like, I mean, do we even need to check this? Probably so. There is no upload mode currently. Then we can return. Now what we can do in here is, if the current upload mode value is import, we proceed like this. Otherwise it's going to be the open, and therefore we're going to do the open SVG. Okay, we can check if that works. So how do we test it? Now the thing is, in order to be able to test it, I probably need to create, okay, this will be 500 by 200, right? I still need to fix that. Does this change? No. Interesting, what is going on in here? So if I change the height, oh, it's not refreshing. I think it's not refreshing like the screen right now. Yeah. So use canvas property panel. What is going on in here? Oh, probably this was not migrated yet. I see. So this gets the canvas, but this was not migrated yet. So set, and the new way of doing it, I guess, is this one. So as I mentioned, probably yesterday in my previous video, my previous stream, I'm still fighting with some of the migrations from version 6. So not everything may be working perfectly. Let's see. Nope. This is still not being correctly updated. So even if you change it, right, unmounted, oh no, wait, that's only the unmounted part. This is not the so this is request render all if you get the canvas, update active transform. What is going on in here? This one should be working, I guess. Let me see now. Active. Does it know that? Yeah. Set. Can you set some properties like, hey, you should be able to, right? But you can also just change the height, right? Size ratio value, which is correct. That's quite weird. Like if I do 200 in here, right? It's not going to render it. But then if you move in here, yeah, okay. So actually this is like the boundaries. Man, this looks so weird. These are actually like the boundaries right now. And this is like 200 on top and everything. It's supposed to be working fine. But as soon as, I mean, this is not re-rendering, right? At all. But the canvas is still there. So if the canvas is there, it's not being refreshed after you change the... But why? Wait a second. Isn't like the active in here the canvas itself? Yeah. So I'm calling it active, but actually it's canvas. Let's actually rename it to what it is. So as active to canvas. Okay. Now, if I already have the canvas request, I don't know, but that's an interesting bug. Yeah, that's a really interesting one. What could be the reason of that? So if there is no size ratio value because I'm not setting it, right? The canvas width and the canvas height are here, the values, right? So, you know what? Let me check out what is the value that we are seeing when I switch to 200, right? When I switch to 200, I mean, that's exactly what I was expecting it to be, right? But then this is what is going on instead. Wait, I'm sure like this was working fine in V5. You're meaning like can I modify in version 6 the canvas, or do I need to like rewrite it or something? Clear it completely. Resize canvas. I mean, it's FabricJS, so let's see. Yeah, this is like with load from JSON, so I don't think that's the... Let's see some... I need to check some object in Fabric or something to see if the canvas has some specific ruling or something, because otherwise it's just confusing. So new canvas, right? So I'm going to create a new canvas. The canvas resize. So there is a resizing here, but it's something else. This is probably like the event that happens on top of it. Yes, only like event listeners and stuff are in here. What if I want to change the size and then like show it again? What happens in the scene here? In the scene I have the canvas, right? The canvas, oh, I see my issue. I see. So height and width is 500 by default, and I have no idea why this was not a problem in version 5. What happens if I do this? Is it going to... Yeah, it's going to create like the default canvas 300 by 150, right? What happens if I say new canvas and I will create it in here, and since there is nothing passed, I will just say these two parameters to 500. Yeah, it's going to work as expected. So now we know that in V5 the canvas there was basically being ignored, but right now instead the elements of the canvas, they are being considered. So if I have a canvas in here, I cannot put, yeah, I have my canvas, I cannot put like attributes in here anymore. This is fine. This is fine. This also means, hopefully, that now if I change to 200, no, absolutely not. Still doesn't work. Let's see. Why is that the case? Like, this is the higher canvas, right? And it has width and height, right? So if I zoom in and zoom out, this is going to change the size. No, it's still the same. So when I change the attributes, right? when I change the attributes, here are the attributes. So I'm expecting it to use canvas properties. Let's see. That's the case that should happen. So let me just investigate a bit about the properties of the canvas itself after I theoretically change the values, because I can't see why that could not work. So this is the canvas, right? And the canvas should have the height of 200, cool, but it doesn't care about it. That's nice. So how about we, instead of requesting, we are just re-render everything. So render, do you have something like render all, like force to render or whatever? Yeah, and it still doesn't care about it. How do you re-render the canvas itself? Do you create a new one? This is sick. This would be bad. I don't even like the idea of that. Update the active transform. Do I really need that? I don't think so. So the value is being set, but it's not being considered again. So the only thing in this case is like FabricJS resize canvas, and I have to hope that somebody else met the same issue. I think it's no, I'm not talking about scaling. Okay, resize. What is a resize though in this case? Image filter class. No. We are talking about the canvas. So canvas events. No. How about just the canvas itself? Like classes, there should be canvas, right? So resize to canvas element offset. The reason why I'm looking for that right now is we need to have the resize in order to check that whenever we are opening something, we are going to change the size of the canvas. Set when changing position dimension related properties. Set does not update position of objects border controls. If you need to update set chords. What is the point of this thing? Sets property to given value. I mean, fine, but is this going to work if I, instead of saying this, I'm going to say canvas set width with value width and canvas set height value height? Is this going to work? Wait, that's not the piece of code that is going to be executed right now, so most likely not. Let me just try with this one first. But then do I need to change the chords? Let me see. Get set chords. No, this doesn't work. What is the method? Set chords. Yeah, so that's not the case here. Set dimensions. What is this thing? Wait, set dimensions of this kind. When option CSS only flag active, you should also supply the unit of measure. What? Wait, I think so yesterday what we had was not an issue of, no, wait a moment. So first of all, let's try set dimensions. That's nice. You have a set function for basically everything in it. Now you can also change it with canvas width, but those options does not work. Set dimensions. Wait, that could still not work. Let me see first the documentation of the set dimension. So it's a partial of a t size. T size is width and height. Okay, this makes sense, I guess. Set dim. Where did I lose it? Where did I lose it? Set dimensions. It was the menu bar, right? SVG menu. Okay. So we were in here. Oh no, sorry. We were in the use canvas. Use canvas property panel. Okay, perfect. So we have the set dimensions, and we can put just two arguments. So it's which one starts with this is CSS dimensions. Width and then height. Okay. So let's try this. Value. No. Then it will be height, and we are going to put it in here. We are going to ignore the previous methods of doing this thing. So I don't know. I'm feeling like there is a little bit of a lack of consistency over like how do you set values and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not really sure about that. So why are you complaining? No overload matches partial CSS. Oh yeah, of course, because you actually want like this. Yeah, value width and then height, which should be like this, and that's it, right? That should be it. I mean, so okay. Should I set them both at the same time? Probably not, right? Let's just... I mean, it will not invalidate the other size, right? If you just set one, should be fine. So let's see if this works now. Yep, it works. Okay, so we have 3 different ways of setting up values into objects, canvas, and other places. I hope that when they are done with the migration to the V6, they actually like make it one, because I get it, like there is probably underneath something that is like deeply different between setting some attributes from like an object and the canvas, because you have to re-render the canvas later on. And I get it, it's going to be different, but from like a user perspective, and I'm just the user here, from a user perspective, reading and having different ways of setting values into it it's absolutely not intuitive. It's hard to get into it basically, and keep finding issues. So now, for example, I need to remove a bunch of coding here. Let me see, did I remove the width? Yeah, probably so, right? Yeah, value width and height, right? So yeah, I don't need that anymore. And can I just remove it also in here? So this is wrong. This should be value height, and this should be just width. Okay, fine. I hope. Nice. Now that we got here, we can create something like this. We are going to have, I don't know, some filling. We are going to have this thing, a little bit of this. Let's have a union of these objects. Cool. Now, let's export this. The export doesn't work. Export here. Yeah, in here it works. Perfect. I didn't connect it yet. So, before I forget about it, SVG menu, export Oh yeah, there is no function here. SVG store export SVG, right? There was no extra argument if I'm not wrong. So export SVG, no extra argument. Okay, fine. So now it should also work from here. Yeah, now it's just an empty one. Okay, fine. So if I decided to import something, right? If I try to import the one that I just created, where is it? Like this one. Okay, perfect. So it's just importing it, but it's not changing the size of the canvas or anything. But if I open it like this, okay, at least we have like some kind of informative error. Fabric, trying to initialize a canvas that has already been initialized. Did you forget to dispose the canvas? That's a good point. That's a very good point. I need to dispose a canvas. And the disposing, I remember from V5, it was like an asynchronous operation. And let me see. So in here, we are going to like create a canvas, but where is like the new canvas option? Yeah, it's in here. So yeah, we are not going to do that. We still have the old one, the old canvas. Old canvas, which is this get canvas, and old canvas. I mean, also I need to create a macro for this. No old canvas to remove weird. And then old canvas should be like disposed of, right? So if you dispose of a canvas, this thing here, yeah, it returns a promise of a boolean, right? And true, oh, okay. So true or false if the canvas was already threaded, like I don't care, it's just I need just to wait the time for that. So I wait for the old canvas to be disposed of, right? And if I open now, this one, perfect, it worked. It actually worked. Okay, there are some stuff that we need to probably address here, like again the rectangles, but yeah, it worked. It worked fine. It worked fine. Now let's see a couple of things. So when I import, can I remove this stuff? Oh, what is this thing? It has been here for quite some time. I don't like it. Let's remove it. If I import something, right? Oh, I see. There was this thing. If I import something, I want to have an ID for those objects, right? So in here, this happens with the open, right? This happens with the open, and it sets the data to have the ID, right? And like imported element and stuff. But for some reason, I was not able to select it. So I guess that there is like a small bug there, right? You have imported element, right? But if you click like these things here, it's not like they are selected on the layers panel. So I think that something may not be correct there. Because when I create like a new rectangle, I'm going to say, oh wait, did we update the layers? Did we update the layers? I don't think we did. Because you see that we are doing these operations here, right? And then we are adding the element and requesting the render all. So maybe with the open SVG, we are not doing these final operations. No, we are. Indeed, we are. We are setting the canvas, then we are creating the objects in the canvas and updating the layers. Okay. Let me open it again.
yeah, it has data. It has data. There is no excuse for it not to work. It has the ID. It has everything it needs to have. So when I click it, what is the reasoning behind it? Oh, wait, I know. Now I know. Now I know. At least I think I know. Here we have these absolutely amazing functionalities, which is the register of the registering of the event listeners. And since I'm changing my canvas to something else and I'm disposing of the old canvas, every event listener that was previously set on the previous canvas is gone. So everything that we are doing on the new canvas is basically not registered anywhere. And yes, this is a problem. This is a problem because we have this entire bunch of extra information that are being like done, and they are lost in here. We need to create it again. So probably what I really want to have is like a helper function that is going to initialize completely the canvas from the start. Whenever we are going to like create a new canvas, this set canvas is probably the initial point. Yeah, also like the guidelines and stuff. So wait, yeah, I probably don't even have like guidelines in here anymore. So I cannot even like create objects. Oh yeah, of course, everything was removed because there are no events anymore. So okay, that's interesting. That's definitely interesting. Let me see if there is a quick way to do that. Just a second, guys, since it's almost midnight. It's getting a little bit late. I want to see if I can quickly fix this issue, otherwise it will be left for another day. Let me see. So this is what happens on mounted, right? And this is setting all the values. Yeah, we also need to create like the guideline and stuff. So yeah, we basically have to like call this entire thing whenever the canvas is changed. So yeah, I would probably like patch up a quick solution for that, but I think it would not be the perfect solution. So I think I will just call it a day for now. And yeah, I'm just glad that a couple of issues have been solved. Like first of all, I was not even aware of this thing, so this is a good thing that the resize of the canvas is working again, and we have a more modular menu here, and I can add new functionalities just by adding new values inside of the options array. And yes, both the export and the import, and also like the open, we also have the open function now. They are working fine. The only thing that we are missing, wait, let me write it down. I think that we are missing for the open part, change the size of the current. This is done, but actually update the new canvas to contain all the event listeners of the previous one. So this is okay. Import, this is fine, I guess. Drag and drop, we are still missing it, but it's a nice thing to add. Okay, so thank you again for watching. I think I have to like call it a day. And yeah, thank you for following, and see you on the next one.